Hi students, welcome to this video on air. Before watching this video, please make sure that you have your worksheet and a pen with you. Secondly, pause and rewind at any time of the video. Do take note of the questions highlighted with a light bulb. Lastly, jot down any questions that you may have. For today's lesson, we are going to learn about air pollution. The learning objectives of today's lesson are to learn about the properties and sources of three substances, namely carbon monoxide, oxides of nitrogen such as nitrogen monoxide and nitrogen dioxide, and lastly, sulfur dioxide. So, what is air? Air is an atmosphere surrounding the Earth, and it is made up of different molecules of many types of gases. So let's do a quick recap on the composition of air. Assuming that the purple pie chart represents 100% of air, do you know what gas represents about 79% of air? What gas represents about 20% of air? And lastly, what is the remaining percentage of the gases and what are they? Alright, let's go through the answers. The gases are nitrogen, oxygen, and lastly, the remaining 1% consists of carbon dioxide, noble gases, and also water vapor. Did you get all of them correct? Good! So let's start the lesson. Why is air so important to us? Air, such as carbon dioxide, is vital for all plants to carry out photosynthesis, while oxygen is required for all organisms to carry out respiration. However, with the increase of cars on the road and chemical factories, harmful gases are constantly released into the atmosphere, causing air pollution. So what are the different types of gases that contribute to air pollution? They are carbon monoxide, methane, oxides of nitrogen, ozone, sulfur dioxide, and unburned hydrocarbon. For this video, we are only going to focus on these three pollutants starting from carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is produced from incomplete combustion of carbon-containing substances. Other sources include the burning of fossil fuels in industries, chemical and oil refineries. It is also produced from the internal combustion of petrol in car engines. Carbon monoxide is a colorless, odorless, and tasteless gas. It is also highly toxic when inhaled. When humans inhale polluted air, carbon monoxide enters their bloodstream and it would cause suffocation. This is because carbon monoxide combines with hemoglobin, which reduces the effectiveness of red blood cells in delivering oxygen to body tissues. Now, think about this. What happens if someone is exposed to high concentrations of carbon monoxide? Next, we are going to learn about the oxides of nitrogen. Nitrogen gas is emitted from car engines and chemical factories. At very high temperature, nitrogen gas reacts with oxygen gas in the air to form nitrogen monoxide. It is also most commonly known as nitric oxide. Can you recall the term that is being used to describe this reaction? That's right, it's combustion. Nitrogen monoxide is a colorless, odorless, and tasteless gas. It reacts rapidly with oxygen to form nitrogen dioxide. The balance equation is written as follows. Nitrogen dioxide is a brown toxic gas with a pungent odor. Oxides of nitrogen can also be produced during natural occurrences such as thunderstorms. Heat energy released by lightning causes nitrogen and oxygen in the air to react to form the oxides of nitrogen. These oxides of nitrogen are then soluble in rainwater, forming acid rain. Now that you have heard of acid rain, can you guess how does the presence of the toxic nitrogen dioxide particles in the air affect us in our daily lives and the ecosystem? Lastly, sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide is also produced during natural occurrences such as volcanic eruptions. Human activities such as the burning of coals for electricity in power stations, burning of petroleum in car engines, and burning of natural gas commonly used in cooking also produces this pollutant. Sulfur combines with oxygen in the presence of heat, forming sulfur dioxide. It is a colorless gas with a pungent smell that is similar to rotten eggs. It will cause breathing difficulties, and it is also a toxic gas that contributes to the formation of acid rain. Now that we have understood that clean air is important for our survival, do you think that the air will still be able to sustain our lives despite the constant release of pollutants into the air? In conclusion, we have learned about these 3 air pollutants. We have also covered their properties and sources.